Hello, students and scholars of the first grade. My name is Miss Pagan. I am a remote teacher, and I am also a virtual content specialist. In this lesson today, we will be using a Google Jamboard to complete the introduction page. We will also be using sentence stems to explain our strategy and our thinking. Let's begin. We are in day 17, adding pairs of two-digit numbers. Part 2. Our focus question today is, what strategy did you use to solve the addition problems? Why? Students and scholars, today you will be solving addition problems involving two-digit numbers. Also, you will choose a strategy, explain the strategy, and also why you selected this strategy. Let's go to the introduction page. On this introduction page, the directions are solve. 57 plus 42 equals. In the blue square, you will show your work. Students and scholars, choose one strategy to solve 57 plus 42, and then show your work in the blue square. You may decide to use some support tools that are here on this page of the Jamboard, such as the base 10 blocks. Here you will find tens and ones. You can click on the select tool, drag a 10 or drag a 1, and place it in the blue square to show your work. Also, students and scholars, you will notice on the bottom of the page that there is an equation that you can fill in to show your thinking. Students and scholars, you may show your work in the blue section. Press pause and press play when you are ready to continue. Students and scholars of the first grade, I'd like to show you how I show my work using one strategy, and afterwards how I explain the strategy that I chose and why I chose this strategy. First, I'd like to solve using the base 10 blocks. I notice in the blue square, the first add-in is 57. I'd like to break apart 57 using place value. Well, 57 has 5 tens and 7 ones. For that reason, I'm going to select 5 tens and 7 ones using the place value or base 10 blocks. 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens. Now I'll click and drag 7 ones. 1 1, 2 ones, 3 ones, 4 ones, 5 ones, 6 ones, 7 ones. Next, I notice in 47 that I can also break apart 47 into tens and ones. Well, there are 4 tens and 2 ones. I can use the base 10 blocks and click and drag 4 tens. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I can also click and drag 2 ones. 1 and 2. I now have modeled how I broke apart 57 and 42, the pair of two-digit numbers, using base 10 blocks. Now I'll use these base 10 blocks to add. Well, I notice that there are 5 10s, 7 1s, 4 10s, and 2 1s. So 5 10s are present on the left-hand side, and these 5 10s have a value of 50. So I'll start with 50. Next, there are 7 1s, and the value of 7 1s is 7. In 42, there are 4 10s, and the value of 4 10s is 40. And finally, there are 2 1s. The value of 2 1s is 2. Now I'd like to add 5 10s. Let's count on 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, or 9 10s. So there are 9 10s. 7, let's count on 8, 9. There are 9 1s. 9, 10, and 9 1s, or 90 plus 9. So my total is 99. So students and scholars, 57 plus 42 equals 99. I'll also write it in the blue square. 57 plus 42 is 99. Now that I have chosen a strategy, I'm going to use the select tool and click on the sticky note to explain the strategy I chose was. The strategy I chose was to break apart each addend into 10s and 1s. I modeled using base 10 blocks. Students and scholars, I have just explained the strategy that I chose. Now I'm going to click on the next sticky note and describe why I chose this strategy. I chose this strategy because I showed with the base 10 blocks how to break apart each 2-digit number, then add. So students and scholars, in this page, I have shown a strategy, then I have explained which strategy I chose, and finally, why I chose this strategy. Students and scholars of the first grade, this is your task for the introduction page. Please feel free to choose a strategy. Afterwards, explain the strategy and why you chose it. You'll continue on to the rest of this lesson with your teacher, explaining this strategy that is present here in student work. And what does this make you think about adding pairs of 2-digit numbers? Then you use your strategy in a few examples of 2-digit pairs. And finally, summarize and write your thinking about the focus question. What strategy did you use to solve the addition problems? Why? Again, this is Miss Pagan, and today I have shown you how to use the Google Jamboard tools of both the online base 10 blocks and also the sticky notes for our focus question. What strategy did you use to solve the addition problems? Why? Please feel free to write questions and comments on our YouTube page as we best support you as you complete your math lessons.